Hello, this is Said and I'd like to make a tutorial for MS Project from a long time. Basically, why I'm doing this is because I'd like to link all of the techniques and the concept of project management with MS Project. The main tool used for planning is the Primavera P6 preferably. But the thing is that MS Project is also a very good tool for the planning. Alright, let's get started. First of all, this is my first video ever, and the thing is, I'd like to apologize for any glitches and any mispronunciation, I'd like to say. And also, I think the performance will increase, my performance per se will increase over some series of videos, alright? So let's get started. I got this training from Microsoft support website, and some of the content I did copy from the internet, so the contributors will certainly receive all of the credit, definitely. Let's move on. Basically, I'd like to start with an old proverb that is, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. What's being said there is that basically if you don't have any plan, you're certainly gonna fail. Alright? So moving on, so the goal of the course is to communicate project plan to the client at the start of the project, and then in order to monitor the project we will keep updating that plan and generate different reports in order to know what's going on at the site. So we will manage all of this in MS Project, and there are a lot of stages, rather knowledge areas in PMP, the project management. But the thing is, basically we're going to deal with planning only. This comes in initiation of the project. So we will be preparing a project overview, and we will be developing activity plan, and we will assign responsibility to different resources and put the plan into action. Afterwards, we will track its progress and prepare closeout report. The basic concept is work breakdown structure. So the thing is, you get a big chunk of work, okay, like a big workload or a work order, and you divide it into manageable units, and you call it the work breakdown structure. For example, in this chart you can see the work breakdown level 1 is a bicycle, and it has been given 100% unit, okay, weightage. And the second level is work breakdown structure level 2, where the bicycle has been given, or rather been distributed into different parts, subparts, which are basically the main combinations. For example, the frame set, it has a weightage of 15, and so on. Now, further in work breakdown structure level 3, the frame set has been divided into further parts, which is the frame, handlebar, fork, and the seat, and it has different weightage. So if you assemble the frame, handlebar, fork, and seat, you have assembled 15% of the bicycle. And essentially, if you complete all of these activities in work breakdown structure level 2, you have in fact completed the bicycle completely, and you have managed to bring it into life, I'd like to say. Alright, moving on. The project overview contains a high-level summary of the project, and it sets the overall scope of the project, what needs to be done and what doesn't need to be done, what has been contracted to you, and what are your responsibilities that you will be accomplishing. Then there should be a document that should state clearly written objectives, and you will have to communicate with the main contractor who has given you the project. And by completing all of those activities, you'd know that, yeah, okay, I've really done my part and it's all in his area. Well, ball is in his area now. Alright, let's move on. What is included in project overview? Okay, I'll have to skip some of the slides. Basically, these are not really included here. So we'll move on to activity plan. We'll have to define the activities and tasks needed to achieve our goals and organize priorities, activities and tasks, identify which task depends on other to create relationships, and assign team members to activities so we could calculate or budget the cost of the resource, right? And define dates to begin and finish. This is the most important that we're going to do, rather most important step. Alright, the activity plan will consist of a major goal or a project goal, which will further be subdivided into activities. And as you can see, one activity is divided into many subtasks or sub-activities. These are called tasks. And the thing is, if you're completing these 4 tasks, essentially you are completing the activity. And if you manage to complete 4 of these activities in the hierarchy chart, you basically, sir, have completed your goal. So, as a thumb of rule, it's said that any activity whose duration is more than 10 days should be broken down into sub-activities or tasks. Alright, moving on. I will be skipping some of these. So, another adage or a proverb: if you plan the work, you plan for success. So basically that's what we are doing at the moment. Alright, the goals of the course are to create a new project quickly and efficiently, create a new task and change tasks from manual to automatic scheduling, create relationship or links between tasks, outline tasks to add structure to your project. So we'll be creating WBS where we break down structure into activities and determining the flow, and we will also determine critical activities and prepare the plan. There are different type of relationships between activities, the first one being finish to finish activity. For example, some activity has to finish in order for the other one to begin. But this is a finish to finish activity. Like if one activity has to finish, the other one also has to finish. Finish to start activity. There are some activities in which one activity has to finish in order for the other one to start. For example, I'll give you an example for that. You have to cook rice, let's say rice, right? The thing is that you'd have to go grocery shopping in order to cook your rice. So unless the grocery shopping finishes, you cannot start cooking your rice. So there you go, that's a finish to start activity. Then there is start to finish activity. Some activities have to start in order for others to finish, and at the end there is start to start activity. Some activities have to start at the same time the other one is started. It cannot start before it cannot start afterwards. It has to start when the other activity starts. Alright, there are different activities relationships and different type of activities. There is a predecessor activity and there is a successor activity. And there is an example: cooking can never start before buying groceries. Exactly. Let's move on to MS Project and let's apply what we have learned so far. Okay, there you go. It's not activated, so never mind that. I would like to make a generic type of a project. Let's say I want to make it very simple, right, for everybody to understand. And the thing is, I'd make a project for, let's say, making pasta. I'd start off by saying that my first task for this activity is to communicate to all of the stakeholders, of course, which would be my roommates and any other guests. Afterwards, I'd have to go grocery shopping. Who doesn't love to go to shop grocery? Alright. Now here you can look, this is the task mode and it is manually scheduled. I'd like to make it auto scheduled because it will certainly fit the activities and the duration, and in order to understand the days, I would like to move them from minutes into days. The duration would be 2 days. Grocery shopping will take me 3 days after finishing communication to all of the stakeholders. So for that, I'll go here into the predecessor column and I'll have to check my first activity is at line 1 and I need to make it the successor. My current activity is at line 2, which is grocery shopping. I'd have to go here and I'll have to mention that number 1 is the predecessor. Alright, I need to format all of the bars. I'll go here, bar text to the left portion. Rather, I'd like to do it top and bottom. Alright, no pun intended. And I'll write here name. And on the right, I don't need anything there. At the bottom, I'll rather say duration. There you go. Okay. Do that for that also. Nothing here. Name at the top. And duration at the bottom. Alright. There you go. Now, what I'd like to do is, I can easily copy this one because the bar is formatted. I don't want to do it again. Okay, so the thing is basically some of my function has been disabled, but I can easily copy it and paste it here if it was not disabled. So I'd have to activate. I won't do that right now, but you can try it at your own computer, right? Alright. After that, I'll come home and soak the rice, which will take me 4 days. And this is a predecessor, rather a successor to activity number 2. There you go. Okay. Start cooking rice. Afterwards, I'd say garnishing and preparation for serving. There you go. And at the end, feedback from the stakeholders. Now, this is just a sample project. You can make it for any type of work or any type of industry, so it will definitely matter. The only things changing would be the different task names, and that will be it. Nothing more than that. Alright, the predecessor here, I'll enter 3. This will be 4 and 6. Oh. 6 itself, so I'll have to enter 5. There you go. As you can notice, skipping the days, there is something called the calendar, and Saturday and Sunday has been marked as a day off. So for me, that is day off, but you can change it from here. I will make it the same for the time being, but just for anybody who needs to change this, you can easily go here and you can change it from this dialog. Alright. Now the thing is, I want it to be auto scheduled, or I can select all of these, go to task, and you can see it's disabled, so I'll have to do it manually. Okay. So the thing is, I need a summary, high-level summary of my project, which is also disabled, so I won't be able to show you that, but you can easily add a summary and it will come under that. Some of these can be indented. All of these are subtasks and activities that have to be performed. Okay, and I'll add resource names here. Nothing here at the moment. It'll go here into resources. Resource name is Grocery Buyer. Well, assignment owner. None at the moment. Cost 100%. Well, the thing is, a lot of my functions are not working at the moment, so again, I have to go into project, resources, sorry, and I cannot do that as well. So I'd like to add that in another video. That will be part 2, and this is only going to be covering, my first part will only be covering addition of all of the activities, and the next part will cover the resources, costing, budgeting, reporting, and milestone deliverables, and project closeout report. Alright, thank you for watching, and as always, stay tuned.